Hey folks, photo stuff. Look at this. I kept the Fuji X-Half camera. I took it with me to Alcudia on the island of Mallorca, and I took it as my only camera. I didn't take the GR3. I also picked up a Sony RX100. Also another 1.8 sensor like this one. This has got a lot of love. This has got a lot of hate. And they both got 1.8 sensors, funnily enough. But I picked this one up recently as well, just before I went away. And I did so because it came up at a price I couldn't ignore. And if I decide not to keep this, I will double my money when I sell it. But yeah, I took this with me to Alcudia, Mallorca, as my only camera. I took it like this. I didn't put it in a pouch or anything. I did keep this lens cover on. This is a kind of rubbery lens cover to protect this front piece of glass. You've got a filter on the lens. I highly recommend you keep this on there if you've got a Fuji X-Half camera, because a scratch on that front filter, it's got a filter cover in the first element, probably a UV filter, a little piece of glass in there, and it's not user serviceable as I can tell. I won't be able to get that off myself, I don't think, and it would be tragic if I got a scratch on that. So I just tend to chuck this one in my pocket or in a sling bag, and having that on gives me peace of mind. I don't care about the rest of the camera getting scratched up or anything like that, but got to protect that lens. And I'm going to show you some images. I'll provide a link to my Flickr account. I've uploaded a bunch of images from Mallorca, so you can take a look at on my Flickr account, so you can get them in, I don't know what kind of resolution you'll be able to see them at, but almost full resolution. These 18 megapixel files, JPEG only, no RAW files. Most of the time I was experimenting with this camera for different use scenarios, and one of them is that if this is going to compete with my Ricoh GR3 or a GR4 or any Ricoh GR on any level, this has to be smart. It has to be quick. It has to be able to do some things like snap focus shooting. And I found out it can. I was pleasantly surprised how easy it was to go around doing street photography in Alcudia and do it by zone focusing. And I will cover that in another video, but there are some samples coming up. And I took a lot of images, and let me just say straight away, as a really honest review, it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster parting with the cash for this. The camera itself is nice, but parting with that amount of money for a camera that is not as good as the Ricoh G, it's not as good as the Ricoh GR3, it's not as good as, I don't think it's as good as one of the newer Sony. But it's a different way of doing things, a different way of shooting. I think if you're into snapping JPEGs and posting them on social media, you're used to doing with that. You're used to doing that with your phone. You will love this camera. It's not. It works like old-fashioned film, so it's got that quirky, fun part about it. You've got your advanced lever here and things like that, and if you run it in camera simulator mode, film camera mode, then you can't even see what you're taking. You have to use this viewfinder, and the viewfinder is crap. It's basically a hole through the camera and that's it. You've got no information, but you do have an LED at the side of it here, and you can just about see that when you're taking shots. So if you're in autofocus mode and you're half pressing the shutter button, you will get a light here that you can see out of the corner of your eye while you're framing through the viewfinder. But that's about it. That's all you can use that viewfinder for. Otherwise, the layout is fantastic. Why they bother putting a hot shoe on there when there isn't a hot shoe? It's a cold shoe. It can't run a decent flash, and this is an LED flash here, so not brilliant, but it works. Movie mode, why bother? It's got a terrible sensor for making video, but if you're just making these little shorts and little reels and things like that for Instagram and whatever, TikTok, then it'll be fine for that. But it's a photography camera, 99% photography camera, just like the Ricoh GR3. Waste of time having movie mode in this one, waste of time having movie mode in this one. This camera is not as good as this one, but it is a blast to use. Now, I said it was like a bit emotional roller coaster parting with that amount of cash for this, knowing that it's not worth it. It isn't worth it. I'll give you one price example. It's the US price is $850 before sales tax, as they say in the US, and it's even more expensive than that in Denmark, where I bought mine. But just to give you an idea, I would say this is probably worth about $500 to $600. It shouldn't have been more expensive than that, but it was. And why they priced it that high, I don't know. I think it's going to affect the sales because there have been so many negative reviews. But a lot of these well-known influencers that have tried it and loved it, you know, Kai and Chris Nichols and them, would they really want it in the end? They say it's so much fun and stuff like that, but do they really want the camera? Well, I decided I do want the camera. I do enjoy using it. And once I got zone focusing working, I screwed it up at one point and botched a hell of a lot of images because I made a change and I forgot I made the change, and I'll show you that in a later video. But yeah, zone focusing is a doddle. Autofocus is okay as well. If you want to take your time and use autofocus, you can use the rear screen. You have to bump up the screen brightness, which but it's very doable. And there are plenty of Fujifilm simulations in. You can't customize them as much as you can on a bigger Fujifilm X series camera, but the Acros, you can add filters and stuff like that. Otherwise, you've got the usual Provia, Astia, Velia and stuff like that. You know, what's it called, Classic Chrome and things like that. They're all good. I found out that Astia or Reala Ace, two pretty good choices for shooting this camera. It's got quite limited dynamic range, like an old film point and shoot. Limited dynamic range, and the sensor basically only does one form of metering. It's kind of a center weighted multi-metering thing going on. So if you're not careful, you can blow out your highlights. You've got an exposure compensation dial here. I've got it on minus 1/3 of a stop, and it seems to be working well for me. And yeah, I'll let you take a look at the images, and I'll provide a link down below for the Flickr account. Peace out, talk to you soon, and I think in the next video I'll show you how to do snap focusing with this thing and zone focusing, so you can set it, forget it, and just go around shooting and having a blast with it. And we'll talk about some of the gimmicky features as well. Okay, see you later.